Good evening, everyone. My name is Lisette, and today I will be presenting my campaign for change speech titled Let's Talk About It, Cultivating an Open and Stigma-Free Mental Health Campus Culture. My audience for my campaign for change speech is my family members. Have you ever felt the pressure to hide behind a smile, pretending everything is fine when inside you're struggling to hold it together? Now imagine a campus where honesty about mental health isn't met with silence or judgment, but with understanding, courage, and support. My goal for today is to speak openly and have an honest conversation about mental health and why it is essential to creating a supportive and stigma-free campus culture on mental health. It is not a sign of weakness, but a recognition of courage that fosters understanding, inclusion, and community growth. What if the strongest thing you could ever say wasn't, I'm fine, but I'm struggling? Imagine a campus where honesty about our emotions isn't met with silence but with support. That's the kind of culture we can create when we start talking about mental health openly, compassionately, and without fear. Mental health remains one of the most critical yet misunderstood aspects of student life, especially within college communities where academic, social, and personal pressures often collide. As a current college student, I've seen firsthand how mental health often gets overlooked on our campus. We talk about grades, deadlines, and success, but not always about how we're really doing. I've noticed that there aren't enough open conversation or support systems that make students feel safe to speak up when they're struggling. Too many of us stay silent out of fear of being judged or misunderstood. That's why this topic matters so deeply to me. I've lived through the pressures, seen the gaps, and believe our campus can do better. By creating a space for honest conversations, we can make mental health support something that everyone feels comfortable reaching for without shame or hesitation. The campaign, Let's Talk About It, Cultivating an Open and Stigma-Free Mental Health Campus Culture, seeks to transform the way mental health is discussed and supported across campuses. The campaign is built around two main principles: breaking the silence to reduce stigma and normalizing vulnerability as a sign of strength that strengthens campus unity and personal growth. Breaking the silence surrounding mental health is the first step towards dismantling the stigma that prevents students from seeking the support they need. On college campuses, many students struggle with stress, anxiety, or depression as they balance academic demands, personal responsibilities, and social expectation. Additionally, specific stressors college students face include new living arrangements, academic achievement pressures, time management challenges, and social maladjustments. These and other stressors, such as homesickness, loneliness, and difficult adjusting to college, have been well documented in the lecture. Based on a survey data from the World Health Organization World Mental Health Survey indicated that at least 20% of college age students have a mental health condition, and of that, 83% experience symptoms that develop before entering higher education, with researchers call pre-matriculation onset. These findings highlight how mental health challenges often begin before college and worsen under academic and social pressure, underscoring the urgent need for early intervention and campus support systems. This finding highlights how mental health challenges often worsen under academic and social pressure, underscoring the urgent need for early intervention and campus support systems. However, fear of being judged or labeled as weak often leads students to hide their emotions and suffer in silence. This lack of open dialogue perpetuates the false belief that mental health struggles are rare or shameful. By creating opportunities for open discussion through awareness campaigns, pre-led workshops, and inclusive campus events, students can begin to understand that mental health challenges are both common and treatable. Open communication not only raises awareness, but also builds trust and belonging, helping students realize that vulnerability is not a flaw, but a sign of strength. When silence is replaced with empathy and understanding, reaching out for help, whether through counseling, therapy, or peer support, becomes an empowering and courageous act that promotes a stronger, healthier, and more resilient campus community. Promoting open and inclusive dialogue about mental health is essential to fostering a campus culture rooted in empathy, support, and community unity. Normalizing vulnerability is essential to build a stronger, more compassionate campus community. Many students conceal their emotions or struggles because they fear being perceived as weak. Yet, vulnerability is a powerful expression of courage and authenticity. This campaign reframes vulnerability as an opportunity for connection and personal growth, encouraging students to share their experiences and support one another openly. As research shows, common college stressors such as new environments, loneliness, and adjustment difficulties often make students feel isolated. However, research has shown that students with mental health conditions such as depression do engage in campus mental health services. These interventions have proven effective in improving their overall well-being. This evidence reinforces the importance of normalizing help-seeking behavior and reducing the stigma that keeps students from accessing support. When individuals are willing to be honest about their challenges, it fosters trust, understanding, and a sense of belonging across the campus. These open conversations of emotions help students realize that strength lies not in silence, but in the willingness to be seen and supported. By embracing vulnerability, the campus community becomes more united and emotionally resilient, one where students lift each other up, celebrate honesty over perfection, and grow together through shared understanding. Ultimately, normalizing vulnerability transforms the campus into a place where mental health conversations are not only accepted but celebrated as part of a healthy, thriving college culture. When discussing the importance of breaking silence and normalizing vulnerability, I want to introduce a powerful visual aid, a series of posters and digital media slides featuring diverse students holding signs with affirming messages such as "Your feelings matter" and "It's okay to ask for help." The purpose of this visual is to bring the campaign's message to life by showing real faces and voices from across campus. Each image embodies the campaign's core values of empathy, inclusivity, and strength through openness. Before we close, I invite you to join me in a simple action to take a deep breath in, hold it, and slowly exhale. In these next few steps, focus on your breathing and allow yourself to be fully present. This brief breathwork exercise reminds us that caring for our mental health begins with one mindful moment, one breath, one pause, and one step towards a more compassionate, stigma-free campus community. Now is the time to turn awareness into action. I call on every student, faculty member, and campus leader to take an active role in breaking the silence around mental health. Start small, initiate an honest conversation with a classmate, or check in on a friend and share your own story to remind others that they're not alone. Faculty and staff members can help by creating classroom environments that encourage empathy and understanding, integrating mental wellness discussion into their curriculum, and promoting campus resources without stigma. Together, we can build a campus where mental health is talked about openly, support is readily available, and vulnerability is recognized as the strength it truly is. Let's talk about it, because change begins with a single honest conversation. By choosing to speak about mental health, we create a campus where understanding replaces judgment and compassion becomes the norm. Together, we can build a stronger, more connected community, one where every student feels valued, supported, and empowered to thrive both emotionally and academically. The change begins with us, with the courage to speak, to listen, and to stand together against the silence that holds so many back. So I challenge you to be that voice of compassion, the friend who checks in, the leader who reminds others that talking about mental health isn't a weakness, it's the first step towards healing and unity. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful day.